We got this bad boy all painted and clear coated. You can see we got our carbon fiber stripe here. What's up everybody, Jesse with Jesse's Performance, back in the paint booth with the split bumper. We left the last video off with some failures that we were having, some contamination between the tack cloth and the sealer. Did a little more research. That does happen. Didn't know that happens, but it happens. So depending on temperatures and how old the tack cloth is and stuff, these were brand new box we bought. Maybe just got a bad batch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wax and grease remove everything. That way I can get any of that residual contamination off from the tack cloth, any of the wax or whatever that they use. We want to get that off first, and then we come back through and I'm going to sand the bad areas, and then I'm going to Scotch-Brite the whole thing, just that way I can get a fresh break on it. It has been about 48 hours since we were in the booth here. Again, luckily we have some guys that are really nice, let us use the booth and store our car here for the weekend because we suck. But yeah, I'm looking at it now. It didn't get worse. Nothing got worse. Nothing was bubbling or peeling or anything. We just got a light texture, like almost like oil. It's like it's oily. So, which lets me know that we just have a contamination. I'm going to work on getting that stuff off, get this thing back to basically square one, but without a tack rag. So I might take just wax and grease cloth and just wipe everything down, and hopefully the wet cloth is enough to get all the dust that we need. With the booth rolling on, you know, I've still blow everything off, I'll wipe it all down. I even went and bought a new quart of sealer, black sealer, where we seal everything in black. I just like it because you can see the bodywork before you paint. If it's black, because it's almost like wet black paint. I got new sealer, just in case there was a contamination in the sealer that I had. It was an open can that we used about a quart out of for another car. It isn't that old, you know, we store it nicely, but things happen. So, new sealer, no tack rags, wax and grease everything, sand, wax and grease again, and hopefully we can seal this bad boy and get her done. So here we go. All right. So I got it all cleaned off, sand off, wax and grease remove, Okay, so I did go ahead and just say F it and just seal the damn thing. It's really cold outside today, so it's really cold in here because I turned the heaters off while I'm spraying. I might not do that next time, but it just evacuates all the heat out. So other than like the blotchiness from it drying, I think we're gonna be okay. I'm just looking at it here. I'm just walking around looking at it as it's drying here, and like you can see, it's kind of blotchy and stuff. But you know, you go where the heat has already been baking on it, and it looks pretty good. So I think we have all this stuff sanded out and encapsulated and yada yada yada. So I'm happy about that. So I'm gonna let this thing dry for like, I don't know, I'm probably gonna have 2 hours, honestly. Just because it's so cold outside the booth, I'm gonna let everything get back up to temperature here and dry. As you can see, like if you look down the top of this fender, it looks good, right? That looks good. On this side, there is a little blotchiness, like I had talked about, especially like up in here, it looks kind of blotchy, but that's just it drying in. So like I said, we'll give it a couple of hours. Same with this guy here, like it's not against the heat, you know? Yeah, the carbon fiber's definitely got some blotchiness on it just because it gets cold fast because it doesn't hold heat. And then these quarter panels, as you can see, it's drying where the heat's at. But it's gonna take a little bit of time. You know, it's just gonna take time. I will say the bodywork looks amazing. We did an amazing job on that. Hopefully it wasn't too cold when I sprayed this here and I get a couple runs. If so, I'll just come back through and knock those down. No big deal, because this is obviously not our base color. But I gotta make sure that this dries 100% how I want it to, because you can see it looks kind of blotchy. But I think once that dries, we're gonna be okay, because that's how this whole panel was, and it's kind of been drying and it looks good. So I think it just needs a bunch of dry time. So I'm gonna leave it baking in here as long as I can until I feel like we're more than good, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got the first coat dry, and I actually just put the second coat of sealer on this thing to let it all level out. And man, am I feeling good about it. I really feel like I dodged a bullet on this deal. Put in a little extra work, took my time. As you can see, you know, no blotchiness, it's all nice and flat, drying in. This thing is looking choice. So I can look down the side of it. Obviously it's black, right? So I can see that the bodywork is perfect. We did the best job I think we've ever done. Getting the lines right, doing all that stuff. So it's cold outside. It's taken this stuff a long time to dry. It almost took 2 hours for the last coat. I'm okay with that, because the longer it takes something like this to dry, the better curing it is, because it's not like flashing on the top and everything underneath is still wet. So when it all can dry slowly, it dries more evenly. And not only that, you know, this, like anything else, is self-leveling liquid, right? So the longer it can stay liquefied, the flatter it can be. The flatter it can be, the better the paint job, right? A good sealer base is always the best base to a good paint job. We have a heavy metallic to put on top of this thing, this Ferrari color. So I did have a few issues here with the trunk. I think I'm gonna be able to sand those out before we do the base. And if I gotta spot those in real quick, that's no big deal. Even if I had to paint the trunk back at the shop, that wouldn't be a big deal because it's such a small amount. But as far as the body, fenders, doors, door jambs, front end looks choice. So I'm happy about this here. I'm gonna give this hour and so to dry. I ate lunch during the last break. I don't know what I'm gonna do now, but maybe I'll take a nap. So that's it for now. We'll get back to you with some color on it. All right, so I'm here in the booth. We got some color on. Look at that. That shit is just so beautiful. Everything is turning out so good. I don't want to jinx it, but after all the troubles I went through on this thing, I feel like I earned this job to be perfect. So I got 2 coats on it now. I'm probably gonna do 2 more just to make sure I have the coverage. Obviously, the smaller pieces get covered easier than the bigger pieces. So like this piece here is probably 100%. This carbon piece here, also probably 100% at this point. I'll double check all the edges. The trunk, probably 100%. What I'm combating now is, even though I got the heaters going in here, these infrared heaters, and they work very well. When we fire up the booth, it literally brings fresh air in and takes fresh air out. So it pulls all of our nice warmth out that we built up, and it makes it cool in here, which is cool. You can run with it for a while, but then after you get about 2 coats on like I have, you gotta just stop and let the heat build back up, which is good because it kind of lets me take a break from spraying, evaluate where I'm at color-wise, evaluate where I'm at material-wise, and just kind of get a re-grasp on things, a fresh pair of eyes. Plus I get to step out of the booth, a breath of fresh air. I, like a dummy, have not been wearing the respirator because I've been saving it for the clear coat because I did not bring enough mask filters. And once if I put that on and I put like the sealer in the color, the mask filters will be clogged up by the time it comes clear coat time and it won't work. So lesser of all evils, the clear coat is the damaging stuff, really. I mean, this stuff isn't great either, but yeah, so that's where we're at. I'm just kind of walking around looking at things as I'm on the camera here. It looks really good. Given what we started out with, we're doing good. All right, so I got all the color on. As you can see, this stuff looks really, really good. Right, I'm excited to see what the carbon's about, but you can see this color is beautiful. The roof's all mist-coated, so it'll look good when the clear goes on. Yeah, it looks good. So, but through all the trials and tribulations of today, to this point, we're looking good. Like I said, that is about 4 coats of color. Probably could have done with 3, but I wanted to make sure that we had plenty of color coverage. So if we ever had to match it before, again, like if we had some sort of incident and we had to match this thing again, I wouldn't be like too light on the color, and it'd be a bitch to match and have to paint the whole car again. So yeah, and then now I got a matte clear, right? We're gonna matte clear this thing, which is cool. So basically it's gonna look just like this here, but just a little deeper. It's gonna have the same sheen. I had the firewall done this way already. It turned out good. I'm not worried about that at all. This booth is surprisingly clean, all things considered. You know, it's like 28 degrees outside. We have the door open out there to let air in here. But yeah, the booth has been very, very clean. We have no issues thus far. Obviously, flat clear is unforgiving, but forgiving at the same time. And what that means is it has no reflective properties, so you don't see the imperfections. But if you get to a point where you can see an imperfection, you can't polish it. You can't sand it polish out like you can a normal clear coat, or else it just polishes it. It doesn't make it matte. So you gotta just be clean, 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 clean. So that's why I am not letting this thing dry for too long. So it's still kind of soft. The paint's kind of soft on the plastic, so it doesn't blow off. At least until I get the first coat of clear on there, and then it can kind of sit for a minute. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this goes. I hate clear coating. It's just a very, very tedious process, and it's what really matters in all of this. But it's okay. That's what I'm paid to do. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this thing beautiful. You know, the firewall's done. This car has got the underside already painted. All the powder coating's done. The engine's done. The transmission's done. The drive shaft is done. All the plumbing is about done. I think it's all done. We got a few little touch-up things on the wiring to do. And then this thing can go get the interior put in it. So, but it ain't gonna get done me standing here jibber jabbering. So let me get some clear coat on this thing. I'll record it for you guys and let's go. All right, y'all, after a very long day over here, we got this bad boy all painted and clear coated. You can see we got our carbon fiber stripe here. Looks good once I get all that cleaned up. Everything's all clear coated really nicely. The car looks kind of blotchy just because I literally put the last coat on, so it's drying down. But once that gets all dried down, we should be good. Again, it shouldn't look any different than it did when it was just color on it, because I just put a flat clear on it. So one thing you notice, we don't have the hood over here. So the hood would not fit in this booth. We have the hood prepped, the stripes around the hood, everything. So I'm probably just gonna shoot that at the shop because there's only like 4 inches of paint around the whole hood, just on the sides. So I'll probably just do that at the shop. It's all messed up and prepped, ready to go. So that's no big deal. Our stripes should all match up, no problem. I'm really, really excited to see how this all turns out once we can get it unmasked and out of here and washed and everything. And hopefully this clear turns out. This is my first time ever clear coating a car in flat. I don't know, I think the fenders and stuff came out really nicely. I did all the front end pieces first, just so I didn't keep blowing overspray back on the car in the booth here. And so the fenders, you can see they look great. All these front end pieces look great. So now we just got to get them back to the shop and get them all installed without scratching anything. That's a whole nother thing there. So that's gonna be it for tonight. That's gonna be it for this video, I think. We might get some recording of unmasking it and taking it out of the booth for y'all, but yeah, I'm out of here. I'm tired. As you can see, my face is dirty. I'm a beat dog, so thank you again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, whatever. And don't forget to check out our jessiestore.com website for all of our merchandise and new parts. We get a lot of new parts added every week. So if you see something that we're using and you want to buy it, let us know. We'll put it up there. But again, thanks everybody. All right, so Kyle, Michael, and I are here at the paint shop that we've been borrowing. We got the car unmasked. We got the parts loaded up. It looks good. It looks like it came out really good. It's drying in nicely. It's still like 35 degrees out here, so it's still gonna be drying in for a little bit. So we'll keep an eye on it and hopefully everything goes okay. And if we have any issues, you know, it isn't nothing to like lightly scuff and put another coat of clear on it, you know, down the road, which might be a bad idea. Might not be a bad idea before it goes home, just to make sure it's all fresh and happy and extra protection. So we're gonna get our stuff picked up and we're gonna get out of here.